Hello and welcome to episode 207. No! We will not lose. I almost said 209.
I know, which is why I said 10.
How did you know? I didn't even say it.
You were mouthing it.
Because it just felt right. I know why. So, we have a new studio. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is that we bought a new table and chairs. And so, welcome. You're listening to the first episode of the Thanks for Watching show, episode 209, recorded in the new it's 207. I said it. Mm-hmm. I said it. It's episode 207. And welcome to that episode. It is the first. I'm not getting through this. Usually you have to derail me, but I'm derailing. The train's derailing itself tonight. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the first episode in our new production studio called Studio 409 for no reason in particular. And yeah, so welcome to the show, everyone. Again, it's been a while since we've recorded, about 2-3 weeks. We kind of got off the schedule. I had finals, and that was about it, actually. But rest assured, a lot of things have happened, so we will be sure to talk about none of those things as we ramble on about whatever small topic that you come up with. Aileen, in fact, is eating chocolate right now. Let me see what brand that is. So, it's called Nama Chocolate.
That's not the brand.
That's not the brand.
That's just what it is.
It's Royce, like Rolls Royce, but with an apostrophe. And it comes in a nice cooling bag. We went to this Japanese market, which is a thing that exists, and and weirdly enough, it's staffed by it's not just staffed by Asian people. It's
staffed by college students.
Yeah. What the heck does that mean? Hold on. I just got a very ominous thing from Messenger that says, you are now connected on Messenger. What the heck does that...
I did not get that.
No, that was from Amanda. I see.
Oh, you're connected with Amanda.
Well, but it just said you are now connected on Facebook. What the heck does that mean?
Anyways.
I don't... That's a weird way to tell me I have... that a friend request was accepted. Oh, let's talk about that. Amanda is the wonderful girlfriend. I don't exactly know the scenario going on of our new...
You're making this very ominous.
I know. The point is that she's a woman.
I thought you were going to say that.
No, she's a woman.
That's the point.
She is a wonderful new person that me and Aileen have met. We have a subleaser whose name is Alex. He's a wonderful guy. He lives in Becca's room, and that has been nice and wonderful. And he met a girl over some time during his time with us, and they're both absolutely wonderful people. We gotta have them
cool
on.
People.
We gotta have them on the podcast somehow. We actually have a new studio configuration. I have little lights going around the table that we record, and we have a full dining set with 4 chairs. So me and Aileen are in 2 chairs because you need 2 chairs for 2 people.
As opposed to 1 chair previously.
Well, it could be 3. or no chairs.
Or 3 chairs.
Okay.
Anyways.
So now I remember what I wanted to talk about. I'll get back to that. Remind me.
Okay.
So our new studio configuration. Yeah, I know that for sure. We have a chair that has a sign that is the hot seat. We have the hot seat now, and it also says, join us, please. The idea is that our show thrives best when people crash the show. After all, I mean, we discussed this recently. I finally have a good way to summarize our show. It is just us two crashing our own show, basically, every time we record. It's like the show just kind of... It's like a tree falls in the forest and no one's around, except we're around. And we take pictures of it. And then make fun of it. And that is our show.
I don't understand that.
What do you mean?
But okay.
Well, like the mic just gets turned on, and then we go, "Hey, look, a microphone. Let's crash the joint."
See.
That is the spirit of our show. Which is the dilemma is I want to have these great people on, but you can't, if you schedule an appearance to be on this show, you misunderstand the point of this show.
Right, like it wouldn't be our show.
Right. Well, yeah, it just would be so uncharacteristic to have, like, today we have on. Well, every time we've had a guest, it's been of convenience. Yes, even the Mark episode, Mark was just there and went, "Hey, I'm in your podcast now." I wish I could give myself credibility that this was all fake and that we, like, you know, we write these bits and think this out and plan our podcast at all.
Yeah, sure.
But no, we don't.
I mean, if only our production was high quality enough to think that.
Yeah, yeah. I guess no one would ever think that. They can hear the fan and all the background noise. There's no way any of this was planned out in advance. Especially because the intro just ended like a minute ago, and I really haven't even stumbled upon a good topic other than the podcast. And I'm not even going to mention, well, I've ironically mentioned that we're talking about the podcast.
Didn't we have like 5 different topics we wanted to talk about?
Hey, we now that we do 30-minute episodes, we record a lot more in batches.
Oh, I thought we went off that.
Right, we did, and as soon as we got off of it, the next 2 episodes we did, we felt good to get off at around 35 minutes.
So then why don't we just do let's stop when we feel good.
Right, and it'll end up being that's what we did, and it happened to be at 35 minutes.
Okay.
Exactly. Both times. 2 times in a row. If it was a one-time thing,
right,
I'd get it, but both episodes for 35 minutes,
that's
and
a
I did
sweet
not
spot in the
plan
middle.
that. Yeah, so it turns out that 30 minutes is a terrible marker. 35 minutes is like perfect.
Makes all the difference.
Well, I think it gives me 5 minutes of leeway is what it is to land, to build to something good. Speaking of building to nothing good, so I wanted to talk about, you guys may be wondering, what do you mean you have a new studio? And obviously I've explained, oh, we just got a table and chairs, ha ha ha, funny. But that might raise the question, what were we recording on before? And this is a funny, I don't think my viewers, i.e. my parents, have ever really like sat down and thought, how do they record this? Because they picture us like normal people at a table. But I don't think right, but I don't think it's dawned on them we don't have a table, and that means how do you record a podcast?
We had a coffee table.
Right, which is too low to like actually sit
it's
a chair.
Still a table.
Right, like a coffee table is at like shin height basically. So we would sit on the floor, like
Isn't
I would
that
sit
what
on
the
front of the
Japanese
couch. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a little Japanese like dinner
they kneel
table.
down, they have little mats or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have like dinner at the coffee table.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know if that still holds up today. That's like a cartoon thing from like the 80s and 90s.
You'd think so, but apparently this Swedish woman lived in Japan and she lived like she slept on a mat.
Right.
Which is what they do in Japan.
Really?
Like instead of a bed.
Why?
I don't know. I guess it feels better for them.
They're already miserable when they work. Why can't they be happy at home?
Because I guess maybe they feel happy. So
being miserable? It's just they're so adjusted. The misery feels better if it's just their bar.
Maybe it's also cheaper.
Okay, yes, but
so
they're Japan. They're doing pretty well economically.
Well.
I don't think poverty is as large a concern as it is here.
Really? I mean, we do have a lot
Think
of people
about how
here.
successful Japan's economy is. Think about how much Japanese stuff is sitting in our apartment right now.
Yeah.
This microphone, my computer,
yes.
Inevitably. Your watch even. Your watch!
Yes.
Seiko,
very Japanese.
Seiko is Japanese. Mm-hmm. That is a Seiko, right?
Yes.
We talked about this last podcast. It was the most boring, and I
How
feel
dare
like
you? That was my podcast.
Right, it encapsulated our show perfectly because it's so inane that it defies all description.
Isn't that what comedy is? Is looking at the inane and then finding something funny out of it.
Seinfeld. Which is not a bad thing to be, but it's also just...
Or just any other comedian. Doesn't have to be Seinfeld.
No, I think Seinfeld pretty much owns the... Hey, what's the deal with cups of water? No,
Don't you think that's his shtick? He's kind of like the lowbrow man.
Louis' whole shtick is my life is sad. Even though his life is it's like his whole comedy bit is a character basically.
Right. I mean, aren't they all?
Yeah, although some less than others. Like I think Seinfeld's barely not the show Seinfeld, but I mean like Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian. His persona is pretty much just him, more or less, but cleaned up.
You think so?
What do you mean? I think so. I know so.
How do you know so?
Well, that was his whole challenge. Was he just wanted to be himself, but keep himself from hitting the lowbrow, from cheap jokes, as he'd call it. Like his whole career has been a self-challenge.
Yeah, like the B movie. He wanted to be himself, so he be himself.
That joke wasn't even fun. I'd have to be...
Okay.
I don't know how intoxicated you'd have to be to find whatever you said funny. So yeah, just picture us kneeling under this tiny little coffee table, hoping not to shake it or anything.
Or flip it over.
Right.
It's just catastrophic.
And my little... And there's no desk space, and we're uncomfortable. Like, I don't know.
I was comfortable.
Were you? I gotta say,
Mildly.
I'm feeling a lot more comfortable in this chair and table.
I am scared of ants at this table.
So Mark put the one who's helping us put out in the table from where we got it. He put it on the lawn, like face down, and so there were like 8 or so ants on this table when we brought it in.
Approximately.
And that has scarred Aileen because she can't look at this table without thinking ants. There has not been a single ant on this table since we brought it in.
There must be.
No, there's not.
Especially since
because there were only 8
here.
of them. Yeah, that you brought to the table right now. Oh, I never finished the chocolate story, so let me not be one of those guys. Believe it or not, I listen to our podcast. I've listened to all of our podcasts pretty regularly. We actually finish all of our stories. We're not one of those annoying people that will drop something and never come back to it.
Yeah.
We do a pretty good job of going back around every time. Huh. Sometimes we'll start some at the beginning and I'll finish it at the end.
Right.
But we've had pretty close calls, but we have a pretty good track record. So let me finish this story. So Aileen bought chocolate that's called Royce, like Rolls Royce, except it has an apostrophe at the end. I kid you not. That's part of its brand.
Apostrophe?
Yep. There's an apostrophe.
Oh, it does.
And it was on the store, and I wondered if that was like a weird mistake. But
I didn't notice that.
No, yeah. It's on your box as well. It comes in a nice little plastic sealed... Think of the most stereotypical, like, 80s Japanese business woman kind of place.
Yeah, it had pinstripe on the bag.
Right. It's totally selling itself as a luxury chocolate that's... And it is. It's like a really fine, powdery, like, almost fudgy chocolate, I would say.
Yeah, fudgy, but, like, smooth melt in your mouth.
Right. It feels like sick. Silk. I combine thick and silk in my head, and yeah, sick. It feels sick.
What kind of chocolate have you had?
90s chocolate. So that was the end of that story, and I just thought that was funny. We also went to the Japanese market. That was where we went, and we bought some candy. Because
that's all we bought.
That is all we bought.
I went there wanting to get actual food.
Right. You wanted some kind of dessert rice ball.
No, not dessert. I wanted basically a rice ball with fish inside.
Oh, that's not a dessert.
It's like a snack or a lunch.
Right, but we searched the whole store, we couldn't find it, so we went to the candy aisle, and I was enamored. When's the last time you've been to a candy... Like, remember when you were a kid? Because when you're a kid, you haven't tried anything in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so everything's exciting.
Everything is exciting and new for the first time, and you forget that. And I feel like I forgot that already. Just at 21, like I've forgotten what it's like to be in a candy store and not know what this tastes like and what this is. Now I don't have that. I feel like I know it. I can just you become cynical in a weird, non-important way.
But you were a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, because I realized, oh my gosh. I don't know what any of this candy is because it's all foreign. There is not a single lick of English on any of these.
And you can't read, yeah, so it really is like you're a kid.
Right, because you don't know what it is. What we ended up getting, though, was actually kind of sadly similar to, like, the non-popular candy in USA. So first we got a bag of something with Kirby on it, and it turned out to be flavored gumballs that are too tiny to actually be good gumballs. So what they do is they make them different flavors, and they they want you to put them together in your mouth, like different flavors.
Yeah, they have like a recipe.
Right. Now, one thing that's now this sounds like very standard, so why bother? But there is one weird thing that does justify it being weirdly foreign. They have a flavor called the prank flavor. We had to go to a translate software.
Yeah, we tried to figure out.
Because it has like a regular, picture this, it has like a regular, like an icon for the flavors, like an icon of an apple, an orange, some kind of bubbly soda drink.
Like soda, yeah.
Some, they're
and
apparently...
And a yogurt flavor.
Yeah, because that's a thing,
Yeah.
Yogurt.
Plain yogurt is like a thing for Asian cultures.
Right. And then you have this weird, like, ball with a tongue sticking out and a goofy face out of a Jack-in-the-Box.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Jack-in-the-Boxes taste like, but it really tasted really weird and almost like nothing. We look it up. It's a prank flavor. That's what it is. And so what it is it is somehow, like, engineered to, like, suck the flavor out of anything. Like, it doesn't... Like, it'll start off sweet and then turn into a mush quickly. But what's weird is that and I tried this and it's true, if you combine it with any of the other flavors, it will give you a hint of the flavor and then take it away. It'll take away the sweetness of the flavor.
Yeah.
So you'll just taste the bitter parts of like orange and apple. Mm-hmm. And it's weird that it works. They designed gum that lets you not taste the sugar in it anymore. That is weird. I don't even know how that works, and I don't know why you'd want that.
Didn't you eat one by itself?
Yeah.
I actually tried that as well.
Right, and it's weird because the
bitter.
flavor... Yeah, it's very bitter.
It's super bitter.
Yeah. And it makes whatever... Seriously, no matter what you combine it with, how much you combine it with, it will suck away the sweetness.
Interesting.
It's amazing. It really works. And why would you do this? I get when you have like a novelty thing like Bean Boozled, and that's the whole point of it. But why would you take a perfectly good candy and then just say, oh, ha, 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 how dare you want to enjoy candy? Because there's like a good, I don't know, there were a good 10 of those gray balls in the thing. So you could just accidentally pick up some and then, boom, you're like, oh, come on, I want to enjoy that.
I guess it's kind of a fun thing. Like, it's their kind of humor.
Yeah, it's like... It's like a ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
It's not...
It's a kid's thing, maybe, like, oh, let's eat all these.
And then we got this one that had very nice packaging.
Yeah. That
we had a feeling it was sour candy, and we were right. It was sour candy. In fact, it's those weird Zot. All it is, it's like a foreign version of those weird Zot candies. Uh-huh. Are you actually going to go get it?
Yes.
But then you will ruin the balance of our show.
Well, I wouldn't have if you just kept talking. It would have been quick. Here's...
No, I meant like literally you will offset the table from where you were sitting.
I see.
I mean, this microphone's really great, so it picks us up. Uh-huh. Why did you hand this to me? She handed me the bag.
For you to reference.
It's super candy. And it has 3 flavors. It has super lemon, super cola, and super soda.
It's Chibi super candy. So they have a larger version, I'm guessing.
Oh, I see. And it has this nice comic book aesthetic, pop art aesthetic,
Right.
But yeah, it's just sour hard candy. That was it. There's nothing really special. I really should have led with this and ended with the Kirby story.
Maybe.
That just shows you we're really not.
We're unorganized.
See, I brought it all around. I brought it all together.
Just like a sitcom. Wow.
Don't you dare say that. So this is going to be fun to try and find the thumbnails for these 4 Japanese candies. We better save the packaging.
Well, too late. I already threw one away. I mean, I know how to search for it. It's easy.
Why? What's its name even?
It's just Kirby candy.
Oh, really? You were able to find it like that?
Yeah, I was. That's how I found out what the flavor was.
Right.
The prank flavor.
Okay. I thought you found something, a shred of English on the bag.
No.
Seriously, the whole thing was in Japanese. It was very confusing.
Not this one, though.
No, the super candy admittedly has some English on it. Although, I don't think...
English.
Right, because I'm pretty sure they think super means sour. And, like, the way that they use it
Or maybe it's like the Super Nintendo.
Well, like, okay,
Picture
this. You
candy.
have 3 girls putting each of the flavor that corresponds to their color of hair, because this is pop art, into their mouth. And in the next panel, they have a shocked expression, anime action lines, with their mouth the gaps and going, "Oh, juicy!" And I'm pretty sure this is what clued me into that sour candy. Like, I don't think
juicy.
Right, like, I don't... That must be their way of saying, "Oh, it's sour." I don't think...
Because, like, you salivate when you put it in, you know, so it's, like, juicy.
That's a really wraparound way to say sour.
Well, it's, like, a concept. Like, there's some words in...
Right, that don't translate well. How do they not have a word for...
so that's kind of, like, how it comes across.
I know, it's just...
Like, that's the connotation.
It's just so funny, because it's like, hard candy's not really that juicy, you know? Uh-huh. So it's like, I got that they were meaning sour, but it was just interesting. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that was our small adventure.
Which one's your favorite?
Cola. No, blue soda. No, I don't know. They're all pretty good. They're nice sour candies. You can only have them slowly, which is why we still haven't worked through the bag. Speaking of candy.
Yes.
It is pumpkin season. This is my parents are mildly clued into this, but I don't think they know how serious it is. I think they think that it's maybe like been I don't know. They get me one every year. But seriously, every year fall time runs around from pre-Halloween to the end of Thanksgiving. The people who make candy corn have a bag of entirely mellow cream pumpkins, and they are the best thing in the world. And they are so good that Aileen left the table right now to go get the bag because I reminded her that they exist.
Yeah.
And you know what? They are so good, and they're only available seasonally. So whenever I go through at least 6 bags a year, like over the total of it being available. Oh yeah,
That's a lot.
It is. We go through them pretty well. I feel like I'm going to set out a candy bowl of them.
They're kind of like the peppermint candies. You know, like the men's ones.
Oh, yeah, like the really nice soft ones.
Yeah, the sweet ones. That's what they're kind of like.
Right, they're very creamy and thick, and they taste really good. Yeah, so
they're very sugary.
You know what? I think that will make our studio nice if I put out some bowl candy. I put out the pumpkins.
But these get stale.
Okay,
you have to put out candies or
but but you have to understand, dear, they go quickly because of me. So they never get the chance to go stale. Never have any of my pumpkins gone stale. Because ever.
That should be the title of this show.
No, there are so many. We talked about all sorts of Japanese candies. I'm pretty sure Oh Juicy is going to be the title of this.
Juicy.
See, this is why I'm in charge of naming the podcast. Also because I'm the only one that listens to them. Aileen is terrified of her own voice.
Yes.
You gotta get over that, man.
Well, I have to if I want to be a teacher.
Yeah, you really do, because you gotta videotape yourself. And,
yeah.
Well, that's even harder, to be fair. I feel weird watching myself. Audio, I've only just gotten past. It helps to get past it in stages.
No one likes seeing themselves.
Yeah.
Unless they're weird.
Wow, that's a pretty.
Hello, narcissist.
That's a pretty bold statement, right there.
Well.
I like how you decided to be completely silent when I needed to take a drink of water. Like, you were talking, and then I took a sip, and you decided, okay, let me wait for him. Come on, you're a good co-host. You know these things.
Well, it was just a split second. You need to give me time.
One of the podcasts I just got done editing, I can't remember if it was 05 or 06. You paused a lot in it because you thought it was a funny bit, and I hate you forever for that.
Did you edit that out?
No, because there was too many of them.
Oh.
So I just decided to leave it, and it gets so bad that I start talking about it during the podcast, so it wouldn't have made sense if I edited it out, so our poor viewers had to listen to some uncomfortable moment. We sounded almost amateur. That's why you can't... That's
the point of the show.
But I mean, even more amateur, because this is going to sound really like tooting your own horn, but we are kind of naturals at this, or at least what we have going here. So like we like, okay, we're kind of Like, yeah, we're not a well-produced show. I refuse to edit conversations down. I refuse to even polish the sound that much.
Even though you do a lot of listening and editing.
Well, I do listening so that way I know what to put in the thumbnails. That's the only reason I listen to our podcast.
Really?
Yeah. Because I just do like 2 things in the beginning and then I listen to it to make sure that it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other reason is I make sure that it's good enough where I can go, oh yeah, I laughed at this a few times. Because if I can laugh at it, I feel like other people can laugh at it. And that's all that matters.
That's good enough.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm especially because these are jokes that I got done. These are things that, this is if I can laugh at a conversation that I just had,
right,
then I feel like that was a pretty good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
See, I feel like we're not as funny when we're not in front of a microphone. I feel like we reach peak potential. There's that. That's what was going potential. On. Yeah, we reach peak potential hilarity when we're in front of this microphone. I don't know why. I can understand.
Because we talk about stuff. Because otherwise, like, you like to talk about your own stuff, and nothing's funny there, you know?
But that's what I do here, I feel like, you know?
Well, like, it's more like stuff like games or Disneyland. It's routine.
What have I been talking about lately? Because I feel like I haven't been talking about those things recently.
What have you been talking about?
Just random stuff, I feel like. I'm in between some of my hobbies, I think, and interests.
Yeah, because you've only been playing Planet Coaster for the most part.
Right, as far as games go. And as far as television, hey, here's a new topic that we can talk on. This is one of the things we said we wanted to talk about. We have been watching... I'm sorry, my shirt just stuck to the chair somehow. That was weird.
You know the chair's falling apart, so...
No, not the back of the chair, the armrests. Like, yeah, that was...
Well, yeah. That's just freaky.
I think there used to be a soft thing here, and it peeled off. And that's some of the old sticky, yeah. Because they're even kind of weirdly curved in a way. Yeah, you know what? There used to be cushions here.
Maybe.
I think so. Anyways, so...
Okay, let's talk more about chair cushions.
So, we've been watching late night television. We have sampled all of the late night shows that are on all your basics. No, I almost said basic cable. No, all your standard not satellite. All your free channels, basically.
Yeah.
Because we don't have cable, because cable's lame. Ironically, the only good talk show, like the consistently great talk show, is Conan, and that is on cable. We sampled it all.
Yeah.
We watched the new Late Show with Colbert, who replaced David Letterman, made the Late Show an entirely new show, which, you know what? Good on him for doing that. Mm-hmm. Too bad it's terrible. And not funny, and Colbert is like robbed of all energy, and it's weird. It's so bland and unfunny. Look at here's how it is, because I'm more a fan of the late shows, like the stuff that comes on after the Tonight Show. I'm a big fan of those kind of those shows are funnier and towards a younger crowd anyway, so you kind of sit there and you pre-watch these shows just to kind of see. When I would rather watch Jimmy Fallon be, hey, I'm Jimmy Fallon for an hour than I would Colbert. It's bad. Like, I was afraid of Colbert maybe not being the best, but oh my gosh, he went way below my expectations.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he was excited to be telling his jokes or performing.
Right, and he did them rapid fire, which usually you can get a laugh out of me if you rapid fire it, but somehow all of his jokes were just unfunny. Now, so I tuned him off the first night, and so realistically, I tried Kimmel another night, Jimmy Kimmel, who I respect as a host, but I don't know, he's just not my host, I guess. I know that's just a particular taste, but I can say that I hate his show, because his show is devoid of content. And I don't mean in like it's vapid. No, it's just there are so many commercial breaks, and they'll have like a minute, or sometimes they do that terrible thing that I hate where they'll be like, "Hey, welcome back. We'll be right back."
Yeah.
Like in between commercials, just to like, please don't go away, and then play the same 8 commercials that came before that bit.
It's almost as if you're on like the hold line on the phone.
Yeah,
and like you like interject to go, okay, we're still here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
that is exactly what watching his show. I think the first half of his show is pretty content heavy, and then when he gets to the interviews, he just like fills for time.
Yeah,
it's really weird, and he also had just like also is like bad guest selection. Like it's really lazy guest selection. It'll mostly just be celebrities and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, that works. But look at there are a lot better. If you make your guests more varied, you get better interest. Jimmy Fallon is halfway there. Jimmy Fallon, I've noticed, is getting better. I've been hard on him before. And I still think he's a clown, but I also think that he's a palatable clown.
He's kind of cute.
Yeah, and oftentimes when he's
just talking.
Right. In fact, we watched his show that was on his birthday, and oh my god, he was actually feeling really good. Mm-hmm. He was really into it, and he had some really good stories, and he knew how to be relatable. It was weird, because this is not something I ever used to describe Jimmy Fallon. I like everything.
Yeah, because he wasn't trying to pretend to be enthusiastic. He was just being himself.
Right. You know, I get that's a part of the job. I'd like to take a step back, because that does sound like an unfair criticism. I mean, Kimmel's even gone out on record saying, you know, there's so much stuff that I have to, you know, pretend to like. You lie all the time.
Yeah, you can't just be like, oh, I don't like you.
I mean, well,
you're on my show now.
Well, you can. That's called being David Letterman. Wow. And it was great. Everyone loved him for it. But I get that you have to do that. It's just he is terrible at it because he doesn't differ. I don't think he does his research enough in a sense. He says, I always loved you. You know, it's just. Also, I'm sorry, man. I know I keep making fun of his voice, but it's because his voice sounds so tentative. You gotta do something about that. Like
maybe that's just how he talks.
I know that has to be how he talks, but you gotta do something to get around that.
You see, he has 2 tones though. Like one tone when he's in performance mode, and then when he's just talking. Right, and his talking one, I feel like is fine. Yeah.
So why he needs to turn the performance mode up? Because being like this is not.
Maybe that's
not
your
professional.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But you know what? I'm hard on him, but it's because I want to see him get better. Because he is getting better. He had Kevin James on, who, Paul Blart. What are you going to have interesting at all? They actually played to his strengths. They had a contest where they competitively tried to fake fall down comedically, and they had all sorts of they had a wonderful different. They had different segments of it. Like they had a miniature staircase to run up and then fall back on the way down.
Right.
And then they did one bit that was uninspired with where you're trying to change a water cooler and things go bad. And they had the final round was them delivering a glass of wine and spaghetti to 2 tables entirely clothed in white with I almost said patients, customers entirely drenched in white. I'm going on too long about this individual bit, but the point is that it's kind of creative, and it's a one-time thing, and it plays to the guest strength. I mean, whoever thought that you could play to Kevin James' strengths at all? I'm sorry, but this guy has 2 modes of not funny.
He does a lot of slapstick.
Yeah, and not funny, very funny slapstick. I'm fine if you're going to dedicate yourself to this art of slapstick, because that is wonderful. There are so many people who share that stage, and to be Kevin James is not one of them.
What do you think it is about his slapstick that doesn't work?
I think it's a guy who's not really educated on slapstick. I feel like maybe he has. I can't speak to what he actually is, but I don't know, man. It's not fun. There's no punchiness. There's no timing. And I think a lot of that's in editing as well. I think that's the problem with slapstick is it has to be very planned, and it has to be very well executed, and then even then it can still be butchered in editing. Anyways, enough about Paul Blart Mall Cop. The point is that I like Jimmy Fallon, but he's also blasé. I'm a big fan of Seth Meyers on Late Night, which was Conan's show and Letterman's show and Jimmy Fallon's show, which precedes the Tonight Show. It's actually really funny. I'd say mostly because the Trump administration was the worst thing to happen to late night television. And you can agree with me.
Yeah, we've been seeing that.
I'm kind of done watching late night television, even the funny ones with Seth Meyers, because Seth Meyers is the only person who's trained enough to deal with these kind of outrageous headlines on a regular basis. Weirdly enough, Colbert does a terrible job with it. You think it would be the opposite, but no. And stop trying to make me laugh. She's putting her hair in her mouth right now. For those of you who can't see, which is all of you. So the point is that Seth Meyers is great, but we just watched both Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers back to back deliver the exact same joke, because that's how low-hanging the jokes are with Donald Trump's existence. I don't blame the writers. I don't think they're hacks. It's just, it's kind of hard to not be a hack when you're making fun of this stuff, because it's hard. I mean, here's the joke. Because, okay, let me deliver it. Donald Trump gave his first address to the UN and vowed to completely destroy North Korea should it continue its nuclear program. That is right. Donald Trump is running for president of North Korea. And I kid you not, both comedians, back to back, same night. It was both their first joke of the night as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was accidental. I mean, because you see them back to back. Mm-hmm. It's just, that's how low-hanging the fruit is. And so your verdict on all this is pretty much the same as mine, which is just... Yeah,
I don't disagree with what you think.
It's like... I'm a big fan of the talk show format. We're doing it right now. And I just think that what's on right now is uninspired unless it's Conan, who, goes out, who I think he's wrapped up at Joe in Mexico, which is wonderful. But that's about it.
So where's he going next?
I don't know.
He just travels the countries.
The countries? You mean the world?
The places, around.
Around. and that'll do it for episode 207 of the Thanks for Watching show. Tune in next time for, I don't know why I wrote that. I never do a tune in next time.
Please don't tune in next time.
No, please do. We probably also won't have bagel time. I'm not feeling like a bagel, are you?
No, not really.
No, if we eventually feel like a bagel, we'll have a bagel time. But I also just don't feel right for bagel time. So no bagel time this week. Sorry about that. Anyways, thank you for listening, for watching. And we enjoy the 4 listeners that we have.
4?
Yeah, we have 4 subscribers. Wow. I don't know who the 4th one is.
We have 4 listeners. Maybe that means we only have 1 or 0.
Right, we have at least 3, and that's all that matters to me. Thank you. I really don't know how to end this show right now.
Just keep talking. That's how you end it.